from the original Hebrews of the Holy Land. And we are the first part of that Judeo-Christian heritage which we cherish and which has given the world the civilization of freedom and faith. And again, we have to stand up and defend it. It's under attack from the rising tide of anti-Semitism and anti-evangelicalism. And it's not accidental that the two are coming under joint attack, because we are one. And what I ask you is only one thing. Stand up. Stand up, don't cower. And, when you're faced with an attack, what do? Attack back. That's all. That's my long speech. And, I'm very grateful to you for your consistent support, for the constancy of your friendship. And now it's time to fight, fight, fight. That's it.
Ha ha ha. Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Makar, double honors to the apostles and the elders and bishops of Great Millstone that told me this truth that will well. Shalom to the elect that scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Kodash Paya. And there was a recent meeting with Netanyahu, Trump, and as well as Elon Musk. If you understand the bigger picture, if you know, you know. But here it is. This was Netanyahu speaking, right? Basically about whoever's anti-Sem, if you will, in his speech. And it sparked debates, strong reactions with people that's of other religious groups, because it's going to be also a holy war, right? So it's conflict, is wars from the outside, and it's wars within, So you also have over here U.S. Secretary, Rubio, Ricky Rubio, right? His punk ass says Trump's new U.S. visa policy will block foreign nationals accused of inciting hate, against the quote-unquote Jews, right? Basically, to those who's not, as well as, not supporting these Khazars, which really that's who they are, that call themselves, Jews, but they're imposters. That's over in Israel. You know what I mean? And they're talking about basically, and as well as if you're not a patriot, so to speak. So your visa, your all that could be blocked. If you're, doing a lesson, prophesying, or to those that's whistleblowers that speak against a certain group, then there'll be repercussions upon that, which, they trying to hide and portray themselves to be something that they're not. You know what I mean? And the whole world sees it. This is also a part of ending free speech as well. Right? Real quick, I want to get a scripture. This is in the book of Salakia. I believe Psalms 33. No, Psalms chapter 37, verse 32, it says, "The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him." Right? And the NLT, it says, "The wicked wait in ambush for the godly, looking for an excuse to kill them." Right? So you speaking about the words of the Lord, prophecy, who the Lord is coming for and who the Lord is against. When you read about Jacob and Esau, two separate nations, the Edomites all the so-called Caucasians today, which the grandson of Esau, I believe is Amalek. You got the Amalekites, the Khazars, they all within, you got, because these, even Putin, all of them, they heathens, Edomites, Satan going against Satan. But it's bringing wars from external, globally, down to the neck of your backyards, That's where it states, I believe, 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 31. One people shall go against another, one city against another, one kingdom against another, one realm against another. That's the division, And they even showed you that as examples of where people that are rich, that speak up, how easy it is for them to be shunned upon, just like, as well as them using this war, right, with Iran over here. Cautions. This was just updated about a U.S. state debt issue worldwide travel warning for Americans traveling abroad due to this war, right? So that's when the scriptures say, a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. You have borders. You have border patrols. You can't go, you know what I mean? And then with Elon Musk, Slovakia, over here, meeting up with Netanyahu, we know what Elon Musk is about. With his Neuralink, and it's all a scheme, snares, like the scriptures say, as a snare shall it come upon all the world. Merely paraphrasing. You see? And so what? If you don't got that micro C hip, pursuing the Revelation 13:16, Revelation 9:14, you can't travel, you can't buy, you can't do anything. Officials say Iran and supportive groups may target U.S. citizens' businesses or diplomatic locations worldwide. And they also were speaking about, I did a lesson on how there's attacks on water, and there's going to be an attack on the internet, to stop and to control the information that's being brought out, stopping businesses, attacks on banks, financial systems. You see? That's why the scriptures say, basically we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We're not ignorant of his evil schemes. How they plot against, because we're coming down to the wire real soon. These final prophetic events is coming to light. The scriptures say the end shall speak and not lie. So there you go. Never like the scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. You know what I mean? Then you got the level 4s, or the different tiers, levels. Do not travel. Reconsider travel. So what all this is bringing is more restrictions. People can't flee. Because America, Babylon the Great, is a big giant prison, a corporate prison. It says U.S. embassies in Amman, Jerusalem, Jordan, and Baghdad have warned U.S. citizens to be aware of escalation and ready to leave. Matter of fact, let me get, let's go here. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Chapter 10, verse 2, it said, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. And they want to talk about Christians. They want to talk about the Jews, so-called, and what coming together. No. It's also a holy war. Right? The Lord's here, he's dealing with an elect remnant. His ways are always grievous, the judgments are far above, out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. And are they not doing that now? With this war? How they trying to be, the bully? Right? But they're getting backlash now. Their allies is going against them. They're low in ammunition and tanks and ships. Looking bad right now. Right? And they always tried to shut the mouths of the prophets in the ancient times during the Herodian dynasty, during the Seleucid Empire, and even far beyond, throughout all the prophets, right? During the time when Yahweh Shah was in the scene, because you was anti-lies, anti, wickedness. Right? So it says, and so what? When we prophesy, we speak the scriptures through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, it goes against their agendas and propagandas. So therefore, whoever's not with them is your enemy. Is their enemy, and we know scriptures speak about how some of us may be cast into prison or, things of that nature. Hey, the Lord is about to bring the famine of the word. So when the Lord stops talking to his men, now actions have to be taking place full throttle. Now things has to happen. Because now, therefore, you're not prophesying about it. You're not saying what's coming when it's already here. At that point, now everything that's written has to happen. You see? He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. I'm going to read that part. And then it says, their mouths are full of cursing, lies and threats. Trouble and evil are on the tips of their tongues. And hey, that's why even King David put curses. We curse these heathens, man. And that's not using swearing and bywords, proverbs. That's actually, putting, because when they curse, hey, man, they use sorcery, witchcraft. They do things on the left-hand side. The scripture said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Right? He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. Right? I'm going to read that in NLT. It says they lurk in ambush in the villages waiting to murder innocent people. They are always searching for helpless victims. Damn. Khan, that just shows you their characteristics of who the evil is. Verse 10, he croucheth and humble himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. Right? That's why we don't vote. That's why we not want. Man, listen. We're not taking part of that. Says he hath said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth him his face. He will never see it, right? So they think, because the Lord haven't brought full judgment yet upon them, They think that they just going to continue in what they've been doing. The Lord is hardening their heart, right? Proverbs 1 and 20, I believe I forget what it says, 1 and 21, says the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. So he's allowing them to continue what they're doing to fulfill prophecy. Remember the scripture says Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. And hey, they showing their horns now. They're about to come. Matter of fact, let's finish off with that. In the book of Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth," right? "And of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." So they're going to come down having great wrath. Just like when during the Herodian dynasty, when they came out having great wrath to kill Yahushua when he was born, because he knew that another king was born. So that's why they want to kill off with all the truth prophets that's out, because they know that it's the words of the Lord being declared for his second coming. So they think they could disrupt prophecy. Well, the scriptures say they can't do nothing against the truth before it. So everything's being exposed. Their strongholds is being crushed through this word. They're scared, you see. And the only thing they could do is try to come down having great wrath, because they know that they have but a short time. But that's when the Lord is going to bless his men and those that believe, the women and children, with refuge. The Lord's going to bless, the men of the Lord with spiritual powers, ways to escape through the faith that's going to cause divine intervention. As it tells you in the book of Isaiah 59 and 19. So I hope this was edifying. Just wanted to bring this out. Till next time, I'm going to say shalom.